It is only when we truly know and understand we have limited time on earth, and we have no way of knowing when our time is up, that we will begin to live each day to the fullest, as if it were the only one we have. "20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bow lines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. The purpose of life, after all, is to live it, to taste experience to the utmost, to reach out eagerly and without fear for a newer and richer experience. To those who stay put, the world is but an imaginary place. But to the movers, the makers, and the shakers, the world is all around, an endless invitation. So the only question left to ask yourself is, where should you go now?"
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you may be around the world. Ali Midawi here with you with a brand new installment of Yup Daily. And we are the Young Entrepreneur Project, where we help struggling entrepreneurs to either start, scale, or grow a business wherever you may be around the world, or you can even monetize with one of our verticals. And today's Freestyle Coaching Friday, where I let you pick the topic, I let you ask the questions, and I coach on the fly exactly on whatever is relevant to you. So we're broadcasting on multiple Facebook groups, on our fan page, on my personal pages, also on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And we had a question early on this morning from a gentleman by the name of Joe Franco. Joe Franco on LinkedIn, check him out. He is an entrepreneur. As I've promised, I give you all a shout out when you ask these questions. And the first question, he had two of them. The first question that he asked was, how do you build multiple streams of income without compromising the message or the integrity or confusing your clientele or your audience? And that is such a great start to our Freestyle Friday. So first things first, I personally have multiple streams of income within one specific brand, right? And for me, that's the Young Entrepreneur Project. Now, most people may not understand fully what we do as a company, but here's what I will tell you. Let's say you want to build multiple streams of income, and I will tell you what I have done to get to the level where I'm in right now. First things first is that you have to identify your brand identity, right? Like I'm not talking about your niche here. Who you are, what is your avatar, what do you represent every single day in the marketplace? And the reason it is important for you to understand this, if you are not creating a sense of identity, by default, no one knows who you are or what you're known for. So first things first, make sure that you have an identity of who you are in the business community. As you notice, the first thing that I did, I introduced myself, Global Master Trainer. We help people start, grow, or scale a business, or you can monetize within our own verticals. There you go. That's an identity. You got to figure that out for yourself. That way, anytime, anywhere you are speaking, engaging, posting, it is the same consistent identity. Number two is, for me personally, you got to make sure that the first stream of income is so solid, so strong, and then you add more into it. The idea of multiple streams of income, somehow, some way, over the last couple of years of hype marketing and social media age that we are living in, it became just a cool thing to say. It's like, saying gluten-free. No one knows what that really means, and everybody says it just because it sounds cool to say, right? Or keto. Many are like, I'm going on a keto diet. Many people don't have an idea what that means, but they like to say that just to make sure that they're convincing their mind that they're eating something healthier or they're going on a better choices. Now, with that being said, once you have that first stream of income solid, strong for yourself, then you can start adding something that is congruent, that adds more onto your audience. Let me explain. So for myself, I always was coaching, training, mentoring different individuals over the last couple of years, right? And when the Young Entrepreneur Project came into my life, it wasn't me going to a whole different direction in a whole different industry. It was something that provided the same exact approach, but it added tools and resources to 10x the business of those people that I was coaching and mentoring. See, I added different streams of income without interfering with what I had. So if you have, a health and wellness business, and you want to add other streams of income, making sure that it does benefit those who you already have and brings in an influx of other individuals. In the Young Entrepreneur Project, for example, we started with just a straight up entrepreneurial community. We help people just with tools, resources, coach them, train them on an ongoing basis. Then we added a financial educational vertical just as of recently called Driven. Within that, those individuals who are monetizing their own brands or within our own verticals will now have the ability to learn, just an educational platform, how to invest and trade should they want to do so in their own brokerage platforms. See, that's not taking anything away. It's just adding more verticals and more streams of income. Then we realized that as entrepreneurs, a lot of people don't eat well, don't sleep well, especially during the pandemic. The average individual in the US only gained over 27 pounds. So we said, okay, what do we make these individuals healthier, give them more energy? So we added a health vertical that just adds more to those individuals' well-being so they can have the stamina to sustain their business, so they can make more income to learn how to trade it even better. See, it is all coexisting in one ecosystem. And fortunately, a lot of people, they would go on one day talking about health and wellness. The very next day, they're talking about telecommunication. And the world is like, wait, I thought you said health and wellness is the best thing ever. Now you're telling me telecommunication is the best thing ever. And you would understand why your audience would get confused. So Joe Franco from LinkedIn, I hope this answered your question. Let me know if it has. Remember, anybody in here, you can ask any questions. This is Freestyle Friday coaching. So you can ask any coaching question or any topic that you want me to address for you. And yeah, it's on the fly, baby. We do not preset or script anything in here. The second question that came also, because I said Mr. Franco had two questions, was how do you maintain a positive attitude throughout the whole day? Now, I totally understand why he would ask that question. There are a lot of people who get hit many days throughout life with things that they're just not able to handle, right? It may be losing a client, it may be having a mean person, it may be having a troll. And don't get me wrong, I am a human being like you. I too have a moment of weakness where I fall into the trap of negativity, right? Where I get upset or I get frustrated or I get annoyed, right? And here's the thing, it's not about being perfect and having the perfect positive mindset and the perfect day. It's about having a recovery system and a positive distraction that brings you back right where you need to be. Let me explain. Let's say I'm doing this live with you right now, and for some way, some reason or another, I'll have a troll, right? Like somebody who's just like being negative and cursing and yelling or whatever the case may be. Now, there's one way you could do is you can adjust and start addressing that negative person and arguing live, or you can just hit that block button and keep on moving, right? So that is a choice that you can make every single day. When people or when things or when life, right, you look at that bank account and you're not satisfied or happy with what you have in your bank account, or you're not satisfied or happy with the body that you're looking at in the mirror, you have an option and a choice, right? And the option is focus on what you don't like and dwell on it, or make sure that you go and do something about it. Eat better, go to the gym, whatever it may be. But it all begins in here. You have to stop focusing on what you don't want and focus on what you want. I create positive distractions throughout the whole day. I listen to audiobooks throughout the whole day. I listen to, YouTube videos that are playing on smart TVs upstairs the whole time. There are just many distractions that we create throughout the whole day, that when there is an occurrence of a bad moment or a negative moment, our recovery system is so quick. My wife and I, we bump heads just like any married couples. We have disagreements. We have things that we don't agree on. I want to spend money in some certain areas in the business. She thinks that it's very aggressive and irresponsible. And, there's the little bumping heads thing, like why we should versus why we shouldn't. And it'll take us maybe a minute. We laugh. We just like, all right, cool. We good. We move on. Or I'll come down and, I'll plug my earplugs and, put some less brown or whatever, get me in the right mindset. And I go up, I'm like, hey, my bad. I shouldn't have reacted the way I did. And vice versa. So you must create a positive distraction and keep on filling your fuel tank of positivity, because in life you have two tanks. You have positive tank and you have negative tank. And unfortunately, the negative tank is easy to fill up. I mean, just walk outside or watch anything, news or whatever, and by default it is getting fueled for you, right? Even our negative limited thoughts, or as they call them, ants, automatic negative thoughts, right? They are always in our heads, little ants. Those little ants, they're always filling up your fuel tank of negativity. You have to create a positive input in your mindset. Be in the right place, in the right room with the right people who are extremely positive. Now, does that help you out in any way, shape, or form? And Joe, if you're watching us, just let us know. For everybody else, feel free to ask any questions about any limitations that you have within your business, or even from a personal standpoint. Another question that I had come in this morning was about working with a significant other, or the fight that it creates, right? Like in especially if you are a solopreneur, network marketer, coach, whatever the ambition or passion that you are following, you might not have the very best supportive spouse, right? And the main reason is they don't understand your passion. Remember, it was your passion. It was your, calling. When one day you woke up, you're like, oh, I want to help people become better human beings in whatever area of their lives, right? And your significant other, when she or he has met you, they didn't meet you as a coach. They met you as an everyday, ordinary human being that went to a job and came back and watched TV and sporting events together. And now with change always comes reaction. So the change itself was either a positive change or a negative change in their eyes based on what they signed up for. So here is what I would recommend if you have a significant other that bump heads with you over your business is, number one, is when you are present in the relationship, meaning at the table, or you're out and about, or whatever the case may be, do not mix your business ambitions with your personal time with your significant other. You got to know when to turn it off, because they want you as you, not as the business person. Now, that was something that I was like literally having a hard time with once upon a time before my wife became an entrepreneurial wife, or before we've become an entrepreneurial family. We needed to grow in our own relationships, and for me, I had to make sure she understood that she was number one, not the business. And many times I could be literally, we're having lunch, and I'm prospecting the server and the manager and the host and the busboy and everybody else throughout my whole lunch that I'm supposed to have a date with my wife, and just grabbing something to eat. And it would be like, my God, I came out to eat. All of a sudden, he didn't talk to me once. All he's doing is prospecting every single person that walks by. So it was a business meeting, not a lunch with my wife. So that was something that I needed to make sure that I discipline myself and I give time to my business and definitely time to my wife. This is why I'm non-negotiable about wifey time. When it's wifey time, boy, I don't care how much money you can throw at me. I'm not talking to you. I just turn off the notifications, the phone goes away in the charger. Peace out. I'm hanging out with my wife. And the same thing you should do for yourself. Eventually, little by little, when they see you becoming a happier, better human being from a personal growth perspective, they start to becoming attracted to what you do and who you are becoming. So instead of forcing the business down their throat, just make sure that you are loving on them and showing them how much you're becoming as a better person, right? Don't tell me how good this business is. Show me through you how you're becoming a better person. And by default, I'm connecting the dot. Man, ever since he or she has joined this business, she or he has become a much better person, better at communication, better at loving on me, better at organizing his or her time, whatever it may be. And I'm telling you, people react to how you're investing yourself and your time and your resources in the relationship. Some of us, unfortunately, all we do is we take money out of the joint bank account for auto ships and conventions and events and all these different things, but we're not putting money into it, meaning we're not really working our business to put the commissions back into and showing the profits, right? Some of us are taking the time out of the relationship, like Zooms and Saturday trainings or whatever the case may be. And when you are home, you're still looking at your back office and you're still prospecting. You're not reinvesting or putting profitable time into the relationship itself. So it is absolutely important for you to remind yourself first why you started the business in the first place. Yeah, I know you're doing it for your significant other. I want to retire my husband. I want to retire my wife. That's cute and all, but until you are showing to your significant other that you're becoming a better human being, all they see, because they don't understand your business, all they see is she or he is taking time, money that I'll never get back in this relationship. And that's when temptations and bad thinking starts to happen in a relationship. That's when husbands, more than wives really, they start going to pornography. They start going to bars to drinking with the fellas and trying to create distractions because they're like, I'm not getting any time anyways. Might as well just enjoy myself and doing all the things that I want to do. And you wake up one day and realize, oh man, it's too late. And the same thing goes for women. Ladies get distracted with either with shopping or flirting or whatever the case may be. We are all human beings. We are all sinners. We are all at fault. We all do bad things. But this is why we have a responsibility to re-engage on the fundamental of that relationship and then let the business come secondary. When you do that, your significant other will become more than just supportive, but they will actually see value in coming out with you to events. I'm speaking from experience. In June of 2013 till June of 2014, my wife and I had the hardest year in our marriage. Thank God we did not divorce, but we were pretty much separated for a year. So I'm telling you what led to my relationship to go wrong before it has become better. And that was because I was truly ambitious about my business. I was traveling all around the country. I was just having the success of my life, but I was not investing back in my marriage. And I'm not talking about money here. I'm talking about time. I'm talking about those things that we talk about. You got to keep the main thing. The main thing is God, family, and then everything else. Once I started doing that, and once I started becoming a better husband, my wife started to support me. She started to realize, man, you spent time with me yesterday. You know what? Just go to your Zoom. Matter of fact, give me the link. I want to watch. I want to hear how you're going to speak today. And I was like, man, I get it now. I just got to keep on investing. Now you understand the notes to my wife. I start the day with my wife in mind. She is my very first priority in every single morning. So to realize, like, you are number one. I'm never going to lose flirting with my wife ever again. I'm never going to lose the idea of making my wife feel special, like it is our first date every single day. We bring flowers and dinner dates and all that stuff. I don't ever want to lose that again because I got distracted with the business. And by default, my wife starts to support me. So I appreciate you all. Unless we have any final questions, I'm going to give you 30 seconds and I'm going to try to empower you a little bit within these 30 seconds, but feel free to drop any questions that you have. But here's what I will tell you. And I hope that you're listening to me with open ears. Business is not easy. It takes hard work. It takes dedication. It takes consistency. It takes perseverance. It takes passion. It takes everything in that checklist of overcoming limiting beliefs. It takes adversity. You got to welcome it. But I tell you this not to scare you or intimidate your potential. I tell you this to make sure that you know what is ahead of you and you say, I know what to expect now. I know what I need to work on. When you have an inventory of everything that I just shared with you right now that it would take to get to the end result of being successful, you just now have to do an inventory on, out of the things that Ali said, what do I have to work on to overcome adversity, to overcome limiting beliefs, to create a sense of consistency, to create perseverance, to create the passion, and so on and so forth. That is the mindset that you need to have. Otherwise, you're just a zombie in a business land. You're just clapping for everybody else and they're bypassing you and hoping that something miraculous happens as if it was just a lottery ticket. That is not business. I'm telling you right now, it is absolutely important. Any elevator pitch for driven. So let me help you out. An elevator pitch is usually for a salesperson. I'd highly recommend that you don't go as a salesperson because salespeople get declined 99% of the time just to have minimal results. My recommendation to you is to identify what is the most passionate part of the new vertical for you. By identifying that, you become genuine and then you advise, asking specific questions, identifying what is important to that person. Me personally, I don't have an elevator pitch for anything. When people ask me what do, I help people to start, grow, or scale a business or monetize within an entrepreneurial community that we have. And when they say to me, well, how does that work? Well, let me tell you, ask you a few questions. Have you ever considered starting a business? Yes or no? In what sector? Health and wellness, finance, travel, whatever it may be. And I let them pick. And if they say finance, awesome. When you say finance, as an investor, as a trader, as a broker, and then I start shrinking down their focus and their goal to the one thing that makes the most sense for them. And then I say, here's the thing. We have an actual vertical that helps individuals to learn and understand and grow into traders. It is 100% all about education. We don't touch your money. We don't guarantee you anything. We don't trade on your behalf. But I think it will be something that will be relevant for you to achieve exactly what you want. Is it okay if I add you into a private group? I'll tag you in 1 or 2 videos, and then let me connect you with an actual trader just so they can share their information and their experience with you. So that is what I do. Elevator pitches are for salespeople. And if you want to be a salesperson, that's one thing. I don't think I value you more than a salesperson. You are a global entrepreneur, and I think you should treat yourself as such. So I hope that definitely helped you out. All right, that was a great question right there, Weenie. You topped us off. All right, so here's the thing. This upcoming week, Rocktober, as we call it, is going to be an incredible week, first week of October. We are celebrating so many people who have achieved 4 figures, 5 figures of earnings per week throughout the whole month of September. We are celebrating new rank advancements. We are celebrating you for making it through another month. And we are going to have an incredible leadership training on Monday night with Corey Cromray, who is going to be in North Carolina still, and Jimmy Izel live from Turkey. I cannot wait for that session with him. Also, we are launching officially the greatest and latest of our verticals, Utopics. For those of you who want to know why did Wanderlei Silva from UFC endorse Utopics, I think you're going to want to join us Tuesday night. It's going to be absolutely incredible at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, utopicszoom.com. And there are so many other incredible events, but I cannot wait. And by the way, I just want to take a moment and say thank you. I'm extremely grateful for each and every one of you for letting us do what we do every single day, allowing us to be who we are to you every single day, spending some time with you every single day. For my wife and I, selfishly speaking, we just had the record breaking in so far in the last 2.5 years on our production and our revenue as well. And I don't take that lightly. So thank you. I appreciate you incredibly and immensely. And until Monday, y'all have a blessed day. Peace out, everybody.